Are we destined in this life not to achieve our dreams and to have wealth, power, a healthy mind, and healthy and good people around us that can nurture our talents and dreams and ambitions? And you got to really think about it. A lot of people who get trapped in economic circumstances that are not good, or get trapped in emotional deficiencies, or get trapped in all type of pain and agony, it has a lot to do with the world and how the world sees them, how the world treated them, and how people around them treat them and see them as well. And had interesting conversation. And this is a person who, I've been knowing for like 10 years at least. This person found me on one of my old channels and followed me since, hell, since before I even had this new YouTube channel. Like, followed all my channels, and we was having an interesting conversation through email. And he was just saying, he's like, you know what, Strizzy, that's one of my nicknames, you know what I mean? Like, you know, before people start calling me BPV or whatever, but he called me Strizzy. So he's like, you know what, Strizzy? Like, that's when how Drake called himself Drizzy, but he called me Strizzy because he thought this one song I sounded like Drake. So, that was like 11 years ago or something like that, or 10 years ago, something like that. But this person been following me for a long time. He was just saying and telling me like, hey man, I think one of the main reasons why you haven't made it is, number one, because the people around you, and number two, how you kind of lack confidence in yourself due to how people perceive you and due to how people kind of shitting on you. You know what I mean? And I thought about that for a second because he was telling me how there's some whack rappers out there, whack people that make it, and it's because the people around them wanted to see them win. You have to have a team. I always preach this though, but it sucks that I never was able to find a team. You know, I had a so-called team at one time, like 2011, 2013, 14. But when people start getting involved deep in the street shit, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, this ain't really my hood like that. You know what I mean? I'm just kicking it with this person, you know what I mean? Because this person, happens to have like a house with a studio, you know what I mean? And now you're talking about, places getting shot up and stuff like that, and people losing their life. It's like, okay, yeah, I don't want to be around that type of shit because I'm trying to actually make it in this music shit for real, and not be involved with nonsense that doesn't pertain to me, But you gotta think of it like this, man. A lot of times, people are gonna follow the example of those around them or those who they can interact with. So if you want to be great, if you want to be, let's say, a beat producer or a music producer or something like that, or you want to be a Hollywood, you want to make movies or something like that, right? You have to be lucky enough, keyword lucky enough, to be around certain people who are doing what you want to do in life, because you can't take advice from people that are not doing what you want to do in life. Someone told me this a while back, and I thought it was one of the most clever things ever. But he was saying that he was taking a music class, and he was thinking to himself like, hey, if this person's so good at music, why are they teaching? And then he asked the person like, oh, well, have you ever worked on any big albums? And they said, oh, no, I just teach music theory. And he was thinking to himself like, what the hell? And I'm thinking like, that's interesting. I never really thought of it like that. But a lot of these teachers that teach things, they're teaching things that they haven't really done themselves. So if you're a music teacher and you don't have hits with Rihanna, you don't got hits with Beyonce, you don't got hits with Taylor Swift, like you never made $1 million, you're not driving to school in a Bentley or Ferrari, you're not living in a mansion, but yet, you're teaching people how to make music or how to make money from music. Because this doesn't make any sense. I'd rather learn from Drake's producer 40. I'd rather learn, how to be a good rapper from Kendrick Lamar. I'd rather learn how to, run a music business or run a record label from Dr. Dre. I'd rather learn from the horse's mouth. I'd rather hear from the horse's mouth. And it sucks because a lot of us don't have the opportunities to get around certain people that can actually change our lives. Instead, I think there's some evil, cruel being that's playing games with us, knowing damn well it's going to put us around people that hate us, that don't like us, that would do every little thing to try to, just make sure we don't win. Whether that's your girlfriend, because somebody was telling me that, they have a girlfriend that, because this one person has a dream, he wants to get into making his own video games and stuff, and his girlfriend is telling him that's just a waste of time. You know what I mean? Point blank period. And she's kind of killing his dream. And he said he's doing the quote unquote responsible thing, but he keeps in his 9 to 5. I think he has 2 9 to 5s, and he's just learning level environment. He's learning how to put like music and sounds in the games. Using Unreal or something like that. One of those video game systems. But that's his dream, is to have his own game. It's kind of similar to Minecraft in a way, he was telling me. And His girlfriend's not supportive. You want to get around people that are supportive of you, your dreams, and your ambitions. And that sucks, man, because a lot of us are talented. You know, I don't care what anybody says, bro. A lot of us do have talent. I've seen enough for myself. People send me all types of emails and all types of pictures and videos of them doing their art, and I'm just like, wow, I'm blown away. Like I wouldn't say it if it wasn't real, you know. And I was talking to this person, man, that known me for a long time. I followed all my channels and see me become, the black pill villain, whatever people want to, whatever moniker they want to call me. He was like, bro, like, it's crazy how like the videos you're making now pretty much were videos you was always making, but no one paid attention until you start talking about, bops and thoughts, and then all of a sudden you just blew up out of nowhere. He was like, I was proud of you, bro. Like, I seen you grow, from nothing to something, and I'm still really, nothing really, to be honest. But every now and then people may, show love. People may throw a couple of bucks this way, here and there, Of course, when I had my channel, it was a lot more people showing love, but he was just telling me, like, man, Black Pill, I think one of the main reasons why you didn't make it because you weren't around the right people. And he was absolutely right. He was like, if you're around the right people, he's like, I guarantee, he's like, even now, he's trying to, hype me up or whatever. He's like, even now, man, he's like, even though you're older, if you get around the right people that really want to see you win, he says, I guarantee it. He's like, you just put your heart and soul into it when you spit. You know what I mean? And just go hard. If you have the right people around you that are doing what you want, let's say like a Taz Taylor, you know what I mean? Somebody like that, with their resources and with the people they know and their connections, I guarantee you'll make it, And I was like, damn, you're probably right. But he's like, how whatever evil being is like trapping you or keeping you in a position where everything around you is toxic. Everything around you is hostile. And that's a lot of us in this position where this world is just hostile towards us. Random people just have a problem with you. Random people want to stare at you. Random people want to be rude to you. The people around you don't like you at all for whatever reason. The people you go out and try to interact with have problems with you. It's like everybody has a problem with you, And I hear so many men tell me that and email me that. Like, one person was telling me about like how one of his brother's friends or whatever, a female, of course, you know what I mean? But it's like one of his, like the females that be in the little guy groups or whatever, how like she pretty much screwed almost everybody in the friend group, that he was trying to talk to her one night. She kind of like just rejected him, and he felt like shit because she was like, she's basically a whore, and she was letting anybody hit it for the most part. And he felt like when he got like rejected by her, he was like, damn, it made him feel low or whatever, made him feel like, damn, what's up with me, And I get it, man, but I don't know, man. There's something. It's like there's something that doesn't want certain people to win, and it will put you in a circumstance where everybody around, like, put you in a hostile environment, and it'll put you in an environment with people that don't want to see you win. Even your friends, like you can have friends that way. I know how many times I'd freestyle in the car and people be blown away like that shit was hard. Then you have maybe like that one kind of hater type friend that's like, oh, that was cool though, but blah 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 blah. They'll say something like that, and it's okay, cool, like. I see. One thing about me is I never let people's pettiness get to me. You know what I mean? Like I've been around so much, like like a lot of stuff, like my whole life, and just around. There's certain friends I cut off. These are people I had friends that were like my brothers. I'd be like a year, like not even a year. No, yeah, a year. A year before I started my YouTube channel, I had a best friend, like my brother. You know what I mean? Like my best friend. And people change is all I gotta say. You know what I mean? And it sucks when you see somebody who is like your best friend, your road dog, somebody you talk to all the time, your ace in the hole, and even came out here, and show love. You know what I mean? Like through my YouTube channel and shit. Like like not my Black Pill Villain channel, but the channel I had before, the Shadow Pill or whatever, and like it was like supporting me and shit. And then next thing you know, channel started to blow up and it started to get funny, But like a year before that, we were cool, but then the relationship kind of got rocky, if that makes any sense. Like, when you talk to certain friends, certain people, you guys start to drift apart, and then like within that year or whatever, we kind of just stopped calling and stopped talking. And then, my channel started to blow up, and then he started to come back around a bit, and then he started to see my channel really, really take off. And then it was just like, started acting fun. And it's just like, this hurts when you have somebody that's like a brother towards you do that to you, And then like other things went on too, but, um, it really sucks, man. But I really think a lot of us, if we have a supportive system, like, if let's put it this way, if everybody in your family is struggling, they're in a poverty position, they're in a poverty-stricken position, and they may not believe in their own dreams and ambitions, and you believe in your dreams and ambitions, even if your situation seems impossible, you still want to believe. But they may see you trying to believe in your dream, whether your friends, whether your family, whether it's your girlfriend, whether it's your fucking, it was whoever it is, whoever you have to be around, or whatever you go to school with, or wherever you go to work with, especially your coworkers. I heard horror stories from people about their coworkers, but when you're around people that don't want to see you win, and it kind of it affects you only because that you have nobody there to really pick you up in those days where you really need somebody to believe in you, to give you that extra oomph, or to have that girl on your side, give you some coochie and some booty on the side, and you lay on her lap and she tells you everything's going to be all right. You can make it, and you will make it, and you will achieve. But when you're around people that they may have had dreams and ambitions, but they didn't accomplish their dreams and ambitions, and they look at you trying to accomplish yours or trying to start yours, and they try to throw a monkey wrench in your gears to break you. I've had friends do that to me, man. You know what I mean? These are friends that they didn't have anything at one time, and at one time, I had a little something, a little pocket change or whatever, and they didn't have to pay for their gas, and then give them cush money and all that, and then I look out for them when they had no place to go sleep at. I'll tell them come sleep in the garage at the time and all that, and then the next thing you know, those people they get their money up a little bit, and then the next thing you know, they want to kind of act funny towards you. And it's like, what the hell? It's weird. Like, bro, I loved you as my brother, homie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just friendship, homie. You love my brother, bro. You know? And that showed me too, man. You know, having the right people in your life, and I'm not gonna front. When I see like those friend groups, man, where they got good friends, like I'm talking about not people that's gonna backstab you, talk behind your back, shit on you, not people like that, but people that are really good, genuine friends that want to see their friends win, meaning that, hey, bro, I'll pay for your studio time. Hey, bro, you know what I mean? Like I believe in you, homie. You know what I mean? Like, people like that, those friends are rare. So if you guys ever find friends like that, cherish them. Because someone told me this and I thought it was interesting. They said, if you want to get the green, you have to have a team. You know what I mean? Like, if you seriously want to do that. And I have a rich Asian homie, you know what I mean, that I talk to periodically. We don't talk as much as we used to, but this is somebody we used to go out the pho, whatever you guys call it, with the meatballs and the soup or whatever, the pho. We used to go to the crack pots or the hot pots where they put the food in front of you and cook it. Like, this is like back in 2010, 11, 2009, 2008. You know what I mean? Around those days. And the last time I seen my homie like in person was like 2015, but we still like text here and there. He knew about my channel. He would watch my videos and say, hey, bro, he was saying some real shit, you know what I mean? But he told me one thing that was interesting, because I remember, one time I was going through it. He was like, bro, if you just sit down one day and believe in yourself and take everything you've been through and actually sit down and write, and you present it before the right people, he's like, there's no way in hell you can fail. And I'm like, damn, this is coming from somebody that's pretty doing well in life, but he's never really given me bread like that. You know what I mean? I remember one time he told me jokingly, but a little seriousness, and he's like, bro, you're the rapper. So you have the voice. He told me, if I could rap as good as you, he's like, I'd be a millionaire. That's what he told me, straight up. He's like, bro, you're one of the most phenomenal rappers I've ever heard. He's just that you must be around an environment that's not conducive to your growth. Like, I get it. And this was a time where I started to become a hermit, shut myself off to the world. I got sick of the world or whatever, like a lot of us do in this community. And that's a bad thing in a way. It's a good thing to try to protect your energy, but it's a bad thing because you need to be around the right people. You never know who you can meet out there that knows this person, that knows this person, that knows that person, that can hear your music or hear something that they like, and they can help you get to the next level. And then you don't have to worry about things that you worry about now. I think it's very important. It's extremely important. It's essential to find the right people in your life. You should have a team. Every person that I talk to that's doing well in life, they have a team. They're not just by themselves out there. It's like, what's those commercial fishermen? They go out deep in the sea, like the North Bering Sea, those big ass waves, and they go out there. There's no fisherman going in those big ass waves by himself. You need a team. You need somebody to drive the boat, somebody to operate the systems. You need people on the deck, and they be pitch black in the middle of the ocean. You can get swept up. You can get swept off the boat, and then you're lost at sea forever, swallowed by the ocean. But you need a team to do that. But the good thing about it is when you actually catch all those fish and bring it back to port, everybody gets paid a hell of a lot of money. You know what I mean? So it's worth it, right? But you need a team, And that's the hard part in this life, because nobody wants to be friends with a grown ass man that doesn't have anything like that. If all you have is raw talent, they have to really see it. And even now, like if I make a video showing my raps and stuff, it don't get many views or likes and shit like that. People want to hear me talk, because that's what got me popular, that's what got me famous, or internet fame, at least famous enough for people to dox you and troll you, I mean, that's famous, right? If somebody's going to troll you and dox you, but that doesn't, like, you know what I mean? Like, think about that. I thought about it too. I was like, would I ever do something that's fucked up like that to somebody? I'll never do that to somebody. Like, even if I don't like the person, I'm not going to take the time of my day to sit there, find out their name, find out this. Like, what kind of person does that? That means you have nothing to do, really. Like, why would you do that, bro? I'm trying to get financial stabilization. I'm trying to get some education, and I'm trying to get out my situation. You know what I mean? And try to still follow my dreams and ambitions. I'm not going to let this situation destroy my soul. And I know that there's evil beings and forces behind the scenes that want me to just fail. But I'm getting back into writing every single day, my raps and shit. And I'm going to put them on here. I don't give a damn if people watch it or not, people like it or not. I'm still going to do it. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, But yeah, you guys have a good day, man. Peace.